What's going on? So in this video, we're breaking down poses from Pinterest. I chose two more poses that I found that were pretty challenging and easy to do or difficult depending on your skill level. But I chose these to practice with because I always like to choose the weird angle perspective and things like that. So in this video, just like my last video, I'm breaking it down differently. And for this one, I chose to break down the whole thing with boxes. That way you can kind of easily see how the pose is laid out. And so with this one, I started out with the head first, making the square shape. And you see also because she's wearing the clothing, is a little hard to tell how her body's positioned, and you have to kind of like go over it and try to figure out, how her body is, or how small it is going down. But it's kind of, if you draw enough of these, it's kind of easy to figure out. It's all about the placement of the boxes and 3D space when you're drawing the boxes out. So I already finished with the head. Now I'm working my way down with the rest of the body, or I guess the top part of the chest. So I'm just drawing the box in, I'm figuring out the lines because it's going down, and because the head is big, and as it goes down in perspective, it gets down to the feet, and the feet is smaller. So I'm working in the box, trying to figure out how it's positioned. Now the waist, I'm drawing with the box on the bottom for the waist, going down, and this is also another method for figuring out different poses and perspective. Is drawing boxes. You draw boxes, you draw cylinders, things like that. These shapes will help you figure out the pose in different situations or perspective and things like that. And it's the best way for me to draw and figure out how the body is moved in the space. So I'm making the leg, the cylinder, circle for the knee, and cylinder for the calf muscle, or the calf of the leg. Drew a little foot out, circle for the shoulder. I'm adding in that cylinder for the arms. Going to be like the little center line, just in the middle of that box, just to get a general idea of where the center of it is, especially if we're adding in detail and filling things in. And cylinder for the forearm, roughing that shape out. Working in the hand, just kind of making like a little outline of where a hand will be, and the outline of the sword. That way I can draw one arm out, and when I'm doing the second arm, I can easily measure out how far I can go with that second arm, because I already drew out the hand and how far it's going to go and the sword, and I can just draw the other arm to get it measured out. I'm drawing in the cylinder for the other leg. Just right above that arm right there. Circle for the knee. Adding in the other half of the leg. And you see, the further you go down, the smaller things get. The higher up it is, the bigger it is, and the further down you go, the smaller it is, especially if you're drawing in perspective. I'm getting in that sword, just adding in a little slight detail to it. You won't see too much of it because the sword and the handle is pretty hidden behind the hand. Darkening up some of the lines, just so it won't be too confusing when I'm adding details to it. Now I'm gonna bring in my little red Mitsubishi pencil to add in some details to draw the face in the box. I know a lot of you have been requesting me to add the faces to some of these boxes and things like that. So I said, okay, I'm at the end of Easter poses, I'll start to drawing the face, just like a quick little face, just to show how you will place it into those shapes. So you see, I'm just placing the nose right where that center line is. I'm adding in the rough outline of the head. So I'm drawing in the cheek down to the chin. And you see that even though you're drawing the box, you're not following the box when you're drawing the head, because the head is a organic shape. So you're not it's a lot of round edges to it. You're not following the box exactly. You're just using it as a reference to go around it and create whatever it is you're trying to make, or whatever shape of head you're trying to put in there. So adding in the eyes, adding in her mouth. She has like a little cigarette hanging out of it. So I think that's what it is. Cigarette or a stick or something like that. So right in the mouth, right on that bottom line. Detailing it a little bit. And detail it that much, just do like a little line, indicate that something is there, similar to what's in the reference. Adding a little slight detail to the ear, pupil in her eyes, looking up. And I'm just darkening up the top of that eye to give her like the little eyelashes. And I like to typically do that when I'm drawing women faces. I like to darken that top lip. It's easily changeable anyway when you're adding ink to it, but I always like to darken that top lip just to distinguish it from the bottom lip. Now for this pose, I did this differently than the other ones that you see me done or create, where typically I would usually start with the head first and work my way down. But with this particular pose, I started with the body first. And sometimes I'll do that depending on the position of the body and how it's positioned. So with this one, it's pretty easy only because the head is covered. You can make the head as big as you want as far as when you're trying to put it in there and fix it. So drawing the body first, I wanted to figure out that twist, that bend in her body, using the boxes first before I start to drawing that head. So now I drew the box for the top half, box for the lower half, and I'm adding in the shoulder or circle for the shoulder, cylinder for the arm. I'm basically drawing out the body before I get to the head. So drawing that arm, so gripping the sword. She has the sword kind of in the back. She's kneeling down, or in a more dynamic way, in a kind of like a ready stance. So I'm just drawing in the leg. And it's like a quick round shape just to throw the leg in there. You're doing it quickly just to get those shapes in. That way, when you start adding detail, you can just drop in that detail real easy after you erase everything lightly and start to draw whatever character you're trying to make. Right now, I'm drawing that foot, darkening a little bit of the line. Now I'm working in that sword that's on the bottom or at an angle. Because I drew the sword first. That way I can kind of know how far the sword is, so I can measure out how far I can make that hand. Because I just drew the sword first, or the hilt of the sword, and now I'm just drawing the hand, gripping the sword. Because I know how far the hand is going to go. So now I'm just drawing the fingers, touching the sword. You're not really going to see too many or that much of the fingers, since the fingers are kind of like hidden behind the hilt. I'm just adding in some small details to the sword, just for the fun of it, since I had a little extra time. So now I'm drawing in the head. So I'm trying to figure out, where the head is, how far it's tilted, so I can draw that box in. And with this part, the box can be as big as small as you want, because the box was added late, and you can easily go back, and even if the box is too small, you can still go back after you erase the whole thing and you start adding those details. You can easily, fix that and to create whatever you're trying to make. Because the head is tilted down a little bit, so that's why I drew the box at kind of a slight angle. and that center line. So now I'm going to go in and start adding in some details to the face, even though it's not that much, because all you really see are her eyes and I think part of her nose. So it's kind of a fairly easy one. You got the two eyes, and then the nose is hidden behind that arm. So draw it in. Gotta get her eyebrows. Darkening the ends of them and then thinning out the rest of her eyebrows. And adding for the circle for the head. Just following the shape. But that's it for this video. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment for anything else you want to see. And take care.